tamper with what is true, and children will die. Careful the things you say, children will listen. Careful the things you do, children will see and learn. Children may not obey, but children will listen. Children will look to you for which way to turn. To learn what to be. Careful before you say, listen to me. Children will listen. Careful the wish you make. Wishes are children. Careful the path they take. Wishes come true, not free. Cast, not just on children. Sometimes the spell may last past what you can see and turn against you. Careful the tale you tell, that is the spell. Children will listen. Guide them but step away. Children will glisten. Tamper with what is true, and children will die if just to be free. Careful before you say, listen to me. Children will listen. Children will listen. Children will listen. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed my cover of the song Children Will Listen from the musical Into the Woods. I absolutely love this song. I grew up watching Into the Woods, and the reason why I chose to cover this song is because it really matched the last video that I did reviewing Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules for Life. And in that last video, we were on rule number 5 about parenting, and I just felt like this song really matched with the theme of that video, so I decided to cover it. Yeah, the words are just super deep and meaningful. I kind of want to get into it. In the first stanza, Stephen Sondheim writes, "Careful the things you say, children will listen. Careful the things you do, children will see and learn. They may not obey, but they will listen." And so it's just that idea of like kids don't follow what you say, they follow what you model. And in the chapter, Jordan Peterson talks about how especially infants are like blind people searching for a wall. They're pushing and they're testing to see where the boundaries lie. And so how we behave and how we correct them really dictates how they end up perceiving the world for the rest of their lives, you know, what they understand to be permissible behavior. And that's why consistent correction is so important, and just how we model life. So he says, be careful before you say, listen to me, because children will listen, even if they don't look like they are listening. And in the second stanza, he says, careful the wish you make, wishes are children. Careful the path they take, wishes come true, not free. And I just think that's so deep and so insightful, because what he's saying is wishes are like children, that they are, you know, premature and they can be immature. But we make these wishes with an idea of what they can become in the future. We don't yet know the consequences though of those wishes. And that's what the musical Into the Woods is about, right? The first half of the musical is all these characters making their wishes, right? Cinderella wants to go to the ball. Paul, the baker, and his wife want to have a child, and all of these different wishes, and they actually get their wish. But the second half of the musical, we see how those wishes play out and the consequences of those wishes, and it's not what you would expect, and a lot of them actually have negative fruit to it. And so it's just like, be careful what you wish for. And then he goes on to say, careful the spell you cast, not just on children. Sometimes the spell may last past what you can see and turn against you. And I think what he means by spell, obviously don't curse people, but like our words too are just so powerful, right? In the Bible, it says that life and death is in the power of the tongue. So what we say can really stick with people for the rest of their lives. And just knowing that we wield that sort of power, just being careful with what we say. Careful the tale you tell, that is the spell. What is the story we tell ourselves? What is the story we're telling our children? That is the spell. Because our lives, our paradigms, our emotional makeup are made up of these stories that we web together, that we knit together in our minds. And that story that we consistently tell ourselves really affects the way that we end up perpetuating the reality that we perceive to be the world. So it's very profound, I think his lyrics are. And the third stanza, he says, guide them, but step away, children will glisten. And so I think what he's saying there is, lead your children in the path that they should go, right? That's in the Bible. But then step away. Don't micromanage them. And obviously let your kids grow up. And when they're grown up and mature, you can't control them. At one point, you have to let them go, right? And I think that's definitely a lesson for all parents, a lesson for everyone, honestly, just to let go of the things that we care so much about, that we love so much, because sometimes if we hold on to them too tightly, we can end up sucking the life out of it. And also when we hold on to our desires too tightly, we also lose sight of all the other possibilities in our lives. And I think children are that way too. If we hold on too tightly to our image or our vision of what they could be or should be, sometimes we can become blind to all the other possibilities of who they are. Maybe the way that God made them, the way that they really are, might not fit exactly into our vision of what they should be, but it's probably, honestly, beyond our imaginations, probably better than what we would imagine them to be, but we're holding on too tightly to our vision for them. And so I think that relates to so much more than just our children, but like everyone in our lives, like sometimes we just have unrealistic expectations, but if we can let go of our expectations, I think we'd be a lot happier. And so guide them and step away, and they will glisten, they will thrive, tamper with what is true, and children will turn if just to be free. And I think that talks about, the little white lies that sometimes parents say to their children, but kids are smart. Kids can pick up on that. And I think if we learn to be honest with our kids, in the ways that matter, in the way that count, it also tells them that we trust them. We trust them enough to be honest with them and empower them instead of trying to control them or use fear to manipulate them. I think let's just be honest and not tamper with the truth, like Stephen Sondheim says. And so those are just some of my thoughts from singing this song. I absolutely love Sondheim. He is a legend in the musical industry. And so anyways, hope you enjoyed this cover and my little exposition on it. If you missed my video talking about that chapter in Jordan Peterson's book on rule number 5, you can still find that in my archives. So stay tuned for more videos like this, covers, book reviews, original songs, and things like that. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye. Children will listen. Guide them, but step away. Children will glisten. Tamper with what is true.